Sim Fam. We're back today. It's another episode of Unfiltered by Symphonic. It's where we go behind the scenes, chop it up with some of your favorite independent artists. My name is Laura Katana, and today we've got Evil Ebenezer in the house.
Hello.
He's a Vancouver-based rapper and singer who's been killing it recently. Just got to 1 million streams on Spotify. That is no small deal. So you can tell me about a moment recently, maybe something in the studio, maybe something when you were on tour, or just, I don't know, life that kind of reminded you, oh yeah, this is why I do this. This is why I make music.
You know, it's funny because it hasn't happened in a while. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. And, you know, when I've been doing this for so long, and sometimes you get stuck in kind of, just kind of like going through the motions a little bit, and just you're kind of, you're working on stuff and you're doing it, but you're so used to doing it, and you're putting out, good product and everything. But the moment that you're talking about, though, it did happen recently, probably a couple months ago. I started working on this new project with a producer called Two Crates, and he's from Victoria. And he sent me all these beats. They were just all these really, really amazing. And he just had these such amazing samples that just brought this new, I don't even know what it is. I was hungry every morning. I was in the studio. And I just had this excitement that came over me again. I started writing kind of like I took a different approach to the music. I don't know if it was just the beats that called me to this, but I started kind of like writing in the moment. And I started like saying things that were like making myself laugh because they're so spontaneous, and we say real things in the moment. Do you know what I mean? Things that we can't take back because we're human. And it was I was getting these kind of lyrics were coming out, and I was literally, laughing to myself in the studio, like, I can't believe I said that, and I can't believe this is working out. And it was because of this new approach, because I think what happens is when we're writing stuff and we're sitting with stuff for a while, we become like, we're tossing it around a lot, and it loses its kind of like, it's real purpose. Do you know what I mean? So that's happened, and I'm so happy that happened, because I recorded 8 songs in the matter of probably 2 weeks, which is pretty good for me. I mean, for anyone. I've already released a couple of the songs. It's called I'm Good, produced by Two Crates.
Tell us with the new project that you're working on, what do you want your fans to feel or think, or how do you want them to kind of process this new project?
I think with all my music, not just this project, but I want them to first of all feel like they're not alone. That I am one of them. I'm a lonely lost soul, that's trying to find his way, through the night, and just like they are. And I want them to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and tomorrow's a new day, and to love themselves first. And if you can get to that point, then you're killing the game.
Hell yeah. That's beautiful. That's a powerful message.
It's a real message, because that's all I could ever hope for, and when I'm on tour, I get told every night, and I took it for granted for a long time until I started to have kids. And when you have kids, your whole life changes, because it's not about you anymore. And when you get these messages of people, in tears, saying that I saved their life and I wouldn't be here without them, it's really hit me hard. And sorry, but I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do, to have been doing it for 20 years, and just to now be like really at a place where I'm like truly at peace with myself and doing it for all the right reasons. When you get messages like that from the people, then it just makes you feel like you've done it, because you did it the right way. You did it the real way.
Was there like a specific song or maybe an artist, or I don't know, a moment in life that just made you kind of think like, all right, this is my calling, this is what I need to do?
I mean, there's been so many of those moments, you know what I mean, that have inspired me, like a young Evil, like, in that time. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, there's been so many things, but I think when I was back in high school, we had Much Music. This is pre-internet, by the way. This would have been.
I
This is
remember
back.
Much Music.
That's back in 1994. Now I know you guys had MTV, but Much Music was our MTV, and it played music videos, and it had a show on. I think it was on once a week. It was called Rap City, and it was a show dedicated to hip hop culture, specifically in Canada and Toronto at the time. But there was a hip hop group from Vancouver called the Rascals that were friends with other guys in Toronto and were invited onto Much Music, and their music videos were getting played on Much Music. Basically, Much Music was your YouTube. It was your way it was your first time on TV. Everything was on TV. I would go home from school, I would turn on the TV, I would watch Rap City because it was my showcase to everything. And I saw the Rascals performing on there, and they were from my city. They were from East Van. They were from where I was from. It was they were so cool, and they had good lyricists and cool beats and break dancers, and they were quite visually appealing, and they did cool shit. And I was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to be on Rap City, and I want to be like the Rascals. So that I would probably say it was those guys. So shout out DJ Chemo and Red One and the Rascals and them. They really left a big impact on me.
Let me ask you, I'm not sure when Much Music ended, but did you ever make it onto Rap City? Did you ever
Yeah,
get
I
on?
did actually in 2012. I was on tour in Toronto. They
Hell yeah.
came out and shot a segment and never aired it.
Oh, what's up with
I
that?
don't know, man. It was like
Ah.
right. You couldn't write a better ending than that, could you?
Speaking, I think you already did mention like a little bit of advice, but let's go back there because obviously, our audience is really emerging artists, independent artists, a lot of artists who are just kind of like getting their footing. So,
Mhm.
is there, I don't know, one piece of
I wish.
advice,
Sorry, I wish there would have been Symphonic or stuff like that when I was first coming up, because it
right?
was a lot. It was a whole different world, and I wish I could really explain that to you 22-year-olds or whatever that are just getting in the game here, and you got some good music, and now you're getting some distribution, and that's just one tiny little piece of it. You know what I mean? You got to have a real thick skin in this business, and you got to be tough, man, because a lot of people are not going to believe in you or your dream. Don't expect anybody to. No one cares about anyone but themselves. You have to remember that. And never ever sign to another artist. Don't do that. That was a big mistake that I did and other people. That artist will never ever let you be bigger than them. Ego is such a big, crazy thing. Stay true to yourself. Stay down. Don't sign to another artist. Trust me.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's some life lessons there, right?
I
Um,
mean, I could go on about that, but I mean, at the end of the day, is people are gonna no one wants to support you because they're trying to get their own thing going. And if you always are looking to other people for support, you're never going to go anywhere. You have to find the support deep within yourself. At night, when you're laying in bed at night talking to whoever, you have to let yourself know that you are the only one. You rely on yourself. And everything, consequences have actions. Treat people good, everybody. You don't know how things will come back and haunt you. Karma is a bitch. And and be good to your mom, be good to the women, be good to the girls, and just do it for the right reasons. Don't do it for money. There's no money in this. There's no money in this. The money will come maybe way later if you're really good and you stick around. Most of you don't even stick around for 5 years. Talk to you in 5 years. You know, do those things I said, and you might be around in 5 years. Real talk.
Tell us what's one big risk that you took with your music or your career that did actually pay off? Something, I don't know, maybe people thought you were crazy when you did it, but it worked
Yeah,
out.
I think really it just comes to just kind of what I've been talking about, and is really like being able to just have like self-awareness. I mean, it's such a big thing. I think people forget of, common sense. Have some common sense, and get rid of the toxic people. I know you hear about this a lot, but there's so many people out there. If no one's bigging you up and no one's showing you love, and they're not obvious about it, you got to understand, you got to see through these things. God shows us things in front of our eyes, and it's up to us if we want to really see it or not, because everything is there for us, and we have to be able to see through the BS. And if I would have learned my lessons back in the day, I would have been a lot better at that, because I think when I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna bet this all on myself. That was my biggest risk. When I finally said, you know what, I'm not gonna do what you want me to do. I'm not gonna make songs like that, and I don't feel comfortable around these people, and I don't want this around my life. When you can finally stand up and do that, then you're a man. Then you are able to say, I'm gonna bet it all on myself, and that's like the biggest thing that you can ever do, because um, when we have to be able to stand on our own feet. We can only depend on ourselves to take care of ourselves and our family. And as soon as you understand that, life will get a lot easier, because you don't have to worry about so much stuff. You just focus on the couple things that are important, and it'll make your life a lot easier. I know it's hard, because when you're 20 something, you want to be cool and you want to be around everybody and you want to be accepted. It's really important that you're accepted. And I understand that, because I felt like that too. I wanted everyone to like me. I wanted them to think I was dope. But at the end of the day, none of them are ever going to like me anyways. They're never going to think I am. And that's okay. I don't have to please everyone, and I don't have to be everyone's best friend. I really just have to be good to my mom, my wife, my kids, and my manager, and the people that love me and respect me. That's it. The rest can, beat it.
Can you share a little bit? Tell us what can your fans expect from you this year? What's coming up next? I know you touched on it a little bit before,
Yeah.
but
So I'm working on this album called I'm Good with Two Crates. And it's all kind of this like lo-fi, kind of like really underground, like sample based production. That kind of it was like my beginning in hip hop. And I kind of experimented later with like, doing more synth stuff and singing and stuff like this. But this is more like rap, lyrics, and it's kind of edgier, and because it kind of just got my pen moving in a way that it had moved in a long time. And I'm releasing music really consistently right now. I just feel like this is really working for me. These shorter songs I'm doing two with two crates. They're 2 minutes. Some are under. They're hitting all these playlists. I think that that's a huge move that people could take advantage of. I'm not the only one doing this. Making shorter songs fit into a lot more algorithms. I'm hitting new playlists that I've never hit before. Symphonic has been really great for that. Like I say, people ask me all the time, what does Symphonic do for you and stuff like that. And I basically tell them they get more eyes on my stuff. They get more eyes on my stuff. And I think that's a good working partnership. I make the stuff, you guys get some eyes on it, and I think that's fair. And so yeah, so this I'm releasing songs every 2 weeks, but I find this consistency, and these shorter songs. I'm hitting these playlists. My numbers are going up, which I love to see. I got some big goals this year. By Chris, yeah, by Christmas, I'd like to have 1 million monthly listeners. I'm at 630 right now. I'd love to have 800 by September. I set these goals for myself. I want to have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm almost at 30. So I have goals that I want to achieve, and they're goals that I believe and that I'm going to get, and I know I will. And I'm saying them to you now, because you got to see it to believe it. young artists, write it down. I'm a visual person. Write it down. Talk about it to yourself at night when you talk to the big guy.
Song you're bumping on repeat. What are you listening to? Give us something new.
It's not really a song, but it's just an artist, I'd say. Larry June, he's a rapper from San Francisco. My friend Nato, who's like my best friend, he's a Taurus also, and he's my engineer. Yeah, he's been listening to Larry June for a long time, and then I slowly got onto him. Yeah, I just really like him. He's just like really like authentic to who he is, and you know his sound, and I just kind of like I like his voice and kind of the things he raps about, and he talks about his kids and just kind of grown ass shit, and but he's still like, and he raps on really dope beats, lots of Alchemist beats. Who's one of my favorite producers. So yeah, Larry June, check him out. He's from San Francisco. He's really good.
Nice.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for hanging with us today. This is Unfiltered with Symphonic. Thank you so much to Evil Ebenezer for dropping so many gems, so much knowledge, so much lived experience. And see y'all next time.